Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
It's the All About Nature article today, and today is April 16th. We're on pages 38 and 39. It's day one, and today our title is called Contrails, a trail of cloud out of the blue.
我们今天要介绍的主题呢是探索自然。那我们这个主题很有趣哦。你看到第一个这个 title 的时候 ，Contrails， 我第一时间听到这个字，看到这个字的时候，我也不知道是什么。看到中文呢，他就告诉你说划破天际的飞机云。然后它这个地方还有一个标题很酷 ，A trail of cloud out of the blue。Out of the blue， 平常在口语中讲的时候也是突然出现的这种感觉。所以在这里的话，我们先知道一下我们的中英文的 title。Right,
so let's take a look at our subtitle here. Take a close look at these mysterious tracks in the sky. And I remember looking in the sky and seeing airplanes and seeing the little clouds. Some people think they're a little scary. I always thought they were really interesting.
没错，我就是以前我在看到那个飞机云的时候，我想说，哇，他们可以用飞机来作画，好酷哦！我觉得是很酷，但有人会害怕，但是我自己会觉得说这是非常有趣的事情。这里面还有一个重要的字汇叫做 mysterious，mysterious 就是很神秘的意思。你可能有听过 mystery， 就是指神秘，它的名词就是把后面的 ious 去掉，变成 y，mystery 就是神秘的事情。Mysterious 就是这个形容词的意思。
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's hear our story. And when we come back, we got paragraph 1.
Contrails, a trail of cloud out of the blue. Think of what happens when you are outside on a very cold day. As you breathe in, the air becomes warm inside your body. And when you breathe out, you see a small cloud form. This is the key principle behind condensation trails or contrails. Contrails are left behind by airplanes passing in the sky. However, you may wonder why you see contrails on some days and not on others. As with your breath on a cold day, contrails only appear when planes are flying through cold, humid air. The plane's engines create and release hot water vapor. When this water vapor hits the cold air at high altitudes, it becomes drops of water. If the temperature is low enough, it may freeze to form tiny ice crystals. These ice crystals are what make contrails visible. The length and visibility of a contrail depend on conditions in the atmosphere. The colder and damper the air is when a plane flies through, the longer and clearer a contrail will be. On relatively dry days, a contrail will disappear as soon as the plane flies away.
All right, friends, let's look at paragraph 1. Think of what happens when you are outside on a very cold day.
好，我们来看第一段的第一句话。你看想了他介绍飞机云，对不对？他是先从我们生活经验来出发。他说 ，Think of what happens when you are outside on a very cold day。好，如果想象一下你在寒冷的日子里面，在户外的时候会发生什么事情呢？
So, Anthony, let me ask you a question. So, a very cold day is a relative thing. What I think is comfortable, maybe someone thinks is a little hot or a little cold. What is a very cold day to you?
大概是那种大概10度以下，在台北的天气的话，我会觉得是冷天。
What did I write on my book right here? In Taiwan, under 10 degrees.
Oh,
that's what I wrote.
Hey.
I always notice in Taiwan, people really look really cold. There are less people outside when it's like 10 degrees, 8 degrees. I really like that weather. In America, I'll say if it's like under 5 degrees below zero, like -5, that's really cold in the United States. In some places in Canada, like -10. So very cold day means different things to different people. Let's go to our next sentence. As you breathe in the air becomes warm inside your body, and when you breathe out, you see a small cloud form.
好，我们来看下一句话，它告诉你说 As you breathe in， 好，这个 breathe 的话特别注意一下，它这个地方呢后面有一个那个 e 嘛 ，breathe， 有 e 的呢是动词，我们要念成 breathe。那如果把这 e 去掉的时候，我们会念 breath， 好，它那个母音会完全不一样。这边的话动词我们会念 breathe in。好，当你在吸气的时候 ，the air becomes warm inside your body， 好，这个空气到你身体后就变暖了嘛。And when you breathe out， 好，当你呼气的时候呢 ，you see a small cloud form， 啊，突然发现我居然可以吞云吐雾的感觉，哦，非常非常酷啊！我以前的话在冷天的时候，小时候很喜欢玩这种这样的游戏。
So just like Anthony told you, breathe has that very long E sound. Pick up your pen, write that down, 长 E, write it down so you don't forget. 然后 Anthony also told you breath 就是前面的 E 你去掉 breath is the noun and write short E there 那个 EA 会发短 E breath. So breathe 写下来 breath write down short E. You won't forget it when you write it down. Also, in really cold weather, you probably saw videos on YouTube when it's very cold, like -5, -10 degrees Celsius. Like you get a really hot cup of water, like you want to make tea. You get really hot cup of water. You go outside and you throw it in the air. It will turn into a cloud. It's really cool to see. But it's a really cold day when you can do that.
没错，老师刚刚提到说，如果在零下5度甚至到10度的时候，你拿着热水到户外这样一泼，对不对？你有机会看到那些水一下子就变成云雾状，然后就这样消失，非常非常酷。但是要天气够冷才行。
Yeah, like don't do it when it's like 10 degrees. To see a crazy person throwing cups of water around your base, right? Like, what is Chris doing? Okay, let's continue. This is the key principle, the key principle, the main idea behind condensation trails or contrails.
好哦，终于出现了我们今天在 title 里面出现的字哦。这句话他说 ，This is the key principle. Key principle 就是关键的这个原理。好 ，principle 是原则或是原理的意思。它背后的原理到底是什么呢？他就告诉你 ，behind condensation trails。这 condensation 呢，它就是凝结的意思。好，你可能有听过 condense， 好，就是让什么东西变得比较浓缩、比较凝聚的那种感觉。condensation trails or contrail， 所以这个 contrail 的前面的 con 其实是 condensation 这个字，所以它就称为凝结尾，好，或者叫做飞机云。它背后的原理是这个样子的。
If you have watched Enjoy English for a long time, you know I love to tell people CON, COM, COL, 一直都是 come together 在一起的意思。And condensation, it's when you have gas come together and it makes a liquid.
没错，所以说今天有很多的这种气体，好，慢慢聚集在一起的时候，这个时候它那个 CON 就是在一起的感觉。
Okay, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 2. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on day 1 of our All About Nature article. We're talking about contrails. When you, in the sky, when the air is very cold and an airplane flies by, you can see a cloud. And that's what we're learning about today. Let's look at paragraph 2. Contrails are left behind by airplanes passing in the sky. When we leave something behind, that means we go from a place without taking something.
没错，所以在这边的话，我们先注意一下这个地方。如果你说 leave something behind， 就是把什么东西遗留在一个地方。然后我最常做的事情就是把我的伞留在很多地方。那在这边的话呢，它是用被动式的形态。Contrails are left behind 是被遗留下来的 by airplanes， 好，是飞机所遗留下来的东西。Passing in the sky， 这个 passing in the sky 就指的是飞机，好，它飞过这个天空的时候所遗留下来的东西叫做 contrails。
Wow, we have the present passive voice here, 被动语态。We have a be verb and our past participle, and then by some object pronoun. 如果不要说飞机的话 airplanes, we're going to say them or him or her or me. We won't use the subject pronouns I, you, he, she, it, we, they.
没错。
All right, let's go to our next sentence. However, you may wonder why you see contrails on some days and not on others.
好，接下来下一句话告诉你说，但是啊，然而呢 ，you may wonder why。好，你可能会想说，哎，为什么怎么样 ？You see contrails on some days， 有些时候你看得到这种飞机云，然后呢 ，and not on others， 在某些时候又看不到了，怎么会这样呢
Now be careful of this word wonder. You probably heard of the new Mario game, Super Mario Wonder. And so my students right now, they're using this word a lot, and they're using it wrong like all the time. Because wonder has a few meanings. Wonder can mean like wonderful or amazing. But wonder here really means to like think about. And I mean, there's other ways we can wonder. No wonder, like 难怪. So no wonder. Wonder means think about, or wonder as in wonderful.
Yeah， 没有错。所以 wonder 这个字的话，在不同的地方有不同的意思。如果说今天提到是什么东西非常美好，像传奇一般的那种东西，你可以用 wonder 这个字当名词来表达。但这边的 wonder 的意思是 you may wonder， 当动词使用的时候，你可能会想过这件事情 ，think about 这件事情。
All right, let's continue. As with your breath, 歇下来短语，歇下来 breath on a cold day, contrails only appear when planes are flying through cold, humid air.
好，所以这个地方呢，我们也讲到的 as with your breath 这个地方我们就提到了，刚刚前面提到，如果把那个 breathe 的 e 去掉，变成名词的话，就会念成 breath。就像你的这个呼吸一样，好，就像是在冷天你呼吸的时候 ，contrails only appear when planes are flying through cold, humid air， 所以它这种情况，你会看到飞机云，一定就是飞机飞过了又潮湿又冷的这种空气才会出现。
So humid is a very good word to know for Taiwan. Humid means the air is very wet. Taiwan is a very humid place. The noun form is humidity. Humidity and humid.
没错。
Let's continue. The plane's engines create and release hot water vapor. Now, water vapor is just like gas water. It's like when you boil a pot of water, the steam that comes off, that's water vapor.
呀，没错，就是水蒸气的意思哦。所以这边的话，这句话 ，the plane's engines， 好，这个飞机的引擎呢 ，create and release， 好，它就会创造出，甚至会释放出什么呢 ？hot water vapor， 好，就会释放出很热的这种水蒸气。
Okay, so we know what an engine is. It sounds like the Chinese. We also could say motor, but that doesn't really sound right for an airplane. We like to talk about engines, not motors. A motor, M-O-T-O-R, is like in your car, but you can also call that an engine. And when we say release, that means we let something out. So maybe you like find an animal and it's hurt, so you take it to the vet. And now, like, you won't keep it at home. It's not your pet. 流浪的动物 You will release the animal. You will let it out and it will run away.
没错。所以 release 这个字，它可以说是释放出，或者呢，今天如果你在野外看到一个哇，好可怜小生物，好小动物，然后你把它送去兽医治好之后，你要把它野放，让它回归自然。You can release it to the wild.
So you know this verb here, release. Look at the L-E-A. It looks like the verb to leave. It's the same word there. Okay, when this water vapor, the gas, when the water vapor hits the cold air at high altitudes, it becomes drops of water. It becomes a cloud.
没错，在这里面这句话里有一个特别难的字叫 altitudes。altitude 指的是海拔，海拔高度的意思。所以他就告诉你说 ，when this water vapor， 当这种水蒸气呢 hits the cold air， 有机会在这个高空中碰到这些冷空气的时候 ，at high altitudes， 在比较高海拔的地方，哇，碰到了之后呢 ，it becomes drops of water， 它就变成这种水滴状的东西。
Everyone understands this if you think about your own house. So in December, Anthony, I remember there were some very cold days. And so I turned on the little heater for my room. and that made the bedroom very warm. And when I was sleeping, I was breathing, and lots of humid air comes out of my mouth. But outside on the window, it was very cold. So you have hot, wet air hitting the cold window. And when I opened my curtains in the morning, there was water all over my window. That's a contrail. It's just not cold enough outside.
啊，没错，所以老师就提到说，可能平常在这个12月的时候，各位还记不记得有几天特别冷，冬至的时候特别的冷嘛？然后呢，老师就说，在家里头他会开暖气，然后开暖气之后啊，房间很暖呐，他会呼出这种暖暖的这种水蒸气嘛，对不对？然后到了白天打开窗帘的时候，发现哇，全部那个窗上面都是那个，只是外面不够冷，所以不会变成这种冰晶的感觉，它只是水而已。
That's right, but it's the same idea. If it were colder outside, that would become like a contrail outside. All right, let's continue here. If the temperature is low enough, it may freeze to form tiny ice crystals. That's basically snow.
没错，所以在这边他告诉你说 ，if the temperature is low enough， 如果这个气温够低的话呢，好，就是等于呼应到老师刚刚所讲的 ，it may freeze 就是结冰，好，就结冰 ，to form tiny ice crystals 就会变成这种冰晶哦，开始形成这种小小的冰晶。老师说，其实基本上这就是雪。
So I'll tell you a little secret about me. When I was young, there were a few jobs I wanted. So I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle. I didn't get to be a Ninja Turtle. I wanted to be a zookeeper. And I also thought about being a teacher, but I also really wanted to be a weather person. Like I wanted to be on TV and talk about weather. Yeah.
所以老师说呢，从小到大还有讲过几个很棒的职业。第一个我要当忍者龟，失败了。然后或者呢，老师呢也想过说要当老师，然后有曾经
I was a teacher 可能 I wanted to work in a zoo.
对，就是像当那个可能动物园管理员，然后后来他甚至想说，其实最想当的是这个天气预报员 weatherman.
So like reading all this like science about weather, I was like, this is so interesting. I love this story. All right, let's continue. These ice crystals are what make contrails visible. So these ice crystals, this is why we can see the clouds in the sky, because they're white and the light bounces off them.
没错，所以这边的话就告诉你说 these ice crystals 这些冰晶呢 are what makes contrails visible. 之所以我们在地面上会看得到那些凝结云呢，这种飞机云的原因，就是因为它们形成了冰晶，然后让我们在这个地面上的时候，肉眼就可以看得到。所谓的看得到，就是这边这个字 visible 就是眼睛可以看见的意思。
When I was like 12 years old, 13, maybe 14 years old, I saw the TV weatherman in real life. And it was like Hollywood. I was like, please sign my book. 来做你签名了。
这么爱哦。
You're the weather person.
Weather person. Cool.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 3. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 38 and 39. We're talking about contrails, and we learned when warm, humid air hits cold air, it makes these clouds left behind by airplanes. And that's the contrail that we're talking about today. Let's learn more in paragraph 3. The length, how long, and visibility, how well you can see it, of a contrail depend on conditions in the atmosphere, in the sky.
OK, 我们来看这一段的第一句话，他说 the length， 好，老师刚刚有解释说，到底这个长度呢 ，and visibility, how well you can see it， 你能不能容易看得见，能见度高不高 ，of a contrail depend on conditions in the atmosphere. Atmosphere 指的是大气层，是大气，所以凝结尾这种飞机云的长度呢，其实还有它的清晰度呢，都是取决于大气的条件。
Be careful here. You might want to put an S with depend here, but we have because we think a contrail, it depends, right? But 事实上不对. It's the length and visibility, they, right? So be careful here. I think a lot of people will put an S here. When I first read this, my brain said S. And then I said, no, look at the subjects, right? And this is a tricky one. So if you want to put an S here, that means your grammar is probably pretty stable. But be careful remember, sometimes these sentences are actually plural. The colder and damper, more humid, the air is when a plane flies through, the longer and clearer a contrail will be.
好，接下来我们看这句话哦，它就是一个越怎么样就越怎么样的一个这个句型哦。他说 The colder and damper the air is when a plane flies through. 这个地方 damper 这个 damp 好，这个字的意思也是潮湿的意思。如果我们提到这个 humid 跟 damp 两个字都是指潮湿，多半来讲 humid 是指的是热热的那种湿。那 damp 的话是那种冷冷的那种湿，好，那种感觉是不太一样的。他就说啦 ，the longer and clearer a contrail will be， 所以他告诉你说，当飞机飞过的时候，空气越冷越潮湿的话，这个凝结尾呢就会越长。
Dude, are you gonna sing for me?
Huh?
Are you gonna sing?
The
more
what?
we get together, the happier.
Oh yeah, the more we get together.
I was looking forward to you singing.
Yeah. 反正我想说，可能你们有听过呢。当我们同在一起，它的英文版本就是 The more we get together, the happier we'll be. 所以这里的话 ，the more 句型就非常好记。如果可以的话，去找一下来听听看。
I always like when you sing that. All right, here we go. On relatively dry days, a contrail will disappear as soon as the plane flies away.
好，这边有看到一个很重要的词叫 as soon as。as soon as 的话就是一怎么样就怎么样，两个动作好像一个发生之后，另外一个马上就发生的感觉。所以这句话说 on relatively dry days， 在相对干燥的这种日子里呢，好 ，a contrail will disappear as soon as the plane flies away。如果说飞机一飞过的时候，这个凝结尾几乎看不到，很快就消失了。
But as soon as is a little different in English and Chinese because 就 like the Chinese is really clear. 是第一个事情，就是第二个事情。But look at this. A contrail will disappear as soon as the plane flies away. As soon as 之后是第一件事情 right? And then we have will disappear 在前面。So I always draw a little arrow. 那个第二个 as 你画箭头到 the plane flies away, write number 1. And 那个第一个 as 你画箭头到 disappear, and you write number 2.
啊，所以这边的话，我们可以用这种方式去弄清楚这个事情发生的先后顺序哦。所以中文是一怎么样就怎么样，很顺序，就是按照我们的语序。但英文的话，它这个地方是先讲后面发生的事情，在 as soon as 前面发生的事。
All right, and last one, for the word atmosphere, I wanted to remind you, we learned about hot water vapor in paragraph 2. The word atmosphere is a Greek word that means like vapor sphere. It literally means like the gas ball.
Oh.
So it's the same word. Atmos is Greek for vapor, and a word we learned there. So you have the gas ball. That's
没错
That's Earth.
所以这边的话，这个 atmosphere 前面这个部分，它其实就是这个希腊文里面的 vapor， 就是水蒸气的意思。那个 sphere 的部分当然指的就是 ball， 球状的充满水蒸气的球体。好，在这个话就是 atmosphere 大气层的意思。
All right, with that, we're done for today. But we're going to take our extended 24-hour break when we will be back with day 2 of Contrails, and we'll learn about some people that think these are a little scary. For Enjoy English School, I am Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.